In this video, we're going to take a look at the various elements of our site and talk about how we're going to be navigating from one part of our site to the other. Sites, of course, are made up of multiple pages, and we need to be aware of the ways that we're going to be getting from one page of our site to another. Right. We're also going to talk about a lot of the common conventions that you see on websites throughout the internet, so that we can incorporate those into our particular website, so that when a user comes to our site, even for the very first time, they see things that they're already accustomed
and footer.
Now, how do the header and footer relate to each other, like as far as importance is concerned?
Well, generally you want to put the most important things in your site at the very top. Mm-hmm. Things like, especially if this is a corporate site, you want to put the logo.
Yeah.
You don't want to put the logo at the bottom because people aren't going to see it.
Right.
You want to put things like the navigation at the top, the menu bar.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to put some squiggly lines in here.
And those squiggly lines would be like words that would link us to other parts of the site.
Right. These are your main categories for the site. We've decided earlier on we had a list of categories we're going to use for the site. Things like products. Mm-hmm. So we're going to have a web page about products. We're going to have a web page about news. Mm-hmm. We're going to have a web page about testimonials. We're going to have a page about history.
The history of the company.
That's right, history of the company. A little overview. People are usually interested in those kinds of things.
And some contact information.
Exactly. So basically you want to have all those things in as high up on the page as you can get, because that's where people are going to look first.
Sure. It's the easiest point of access. And
right.
then, like, of course, people read a page as they would a page from a book, typically from the upper left to the lower right.
Exactly.
And on top of that, we have, a lot of people who use computers are used to coming up to the top of a page in order to grab any sort of menu that may be up there. I mean, we navigate all of our computer applications by coming up to our menu bar. So it's kind of cool to stick with that convention and to make people feel at home when they're on your site.
That's right. And so you want to put the most important information up here. You want to put the least important information up here, but the stuff that is still necessary.
Now, what do you mean by the stuff that's not important but necessary?
Well, things like copyright information.
Like copyright 2005.
Exactly. You want to put that on every page.
Right.
Especially if you're a corporate site and you have things that you don't want other people to be taking
right.
without their permission, without your permission. Mm-hmm. You want to put things like privacy policy, things like that, legal notices.
The fine print kind of stuff.
Exactly, the fine print.
The stuff that nobody's ever going to really read, but they feel better knowing it's there.
Right. And so once you have your navigation and your identity established and you have your legal things taken care of, you're free to explore this area and put whatever you like in here.
Now, what do you call this center area? Does it have a name?
Well, the whole page is called the body.
Gotcha.
The body of the site. This area in here, I just call it the main content area.
That's cool.
But different people call it different things.
Sure.
It doesn't have an official name.
Of course.
So one of the things we want to talk about is the home page. Mm-hmm. And on the home page, you want to reflect the different elements of your site, just kind of giving people a glimpse as to what they're going to be seeing when they're navigating through your site. So you might have, for example, an area on products.
So this would be like, as opposed to just a word that says products, this would be like a list, maybe some images of the products you have to offer.
You might have a couple of thumbnails.
Sure. Or maybe if you have some things that are on sale, you talk about those.
Right. You might have a special area for a product that you want to highlight. Maybe you want to take an entire area.
That's the product of the week, right?
Yeah, this is your Super Log 2000,
right?
That's right.
Okay.
Nice. And so you have more products, and let's say you want to keep some of the site, some of your homepage available for testimonials. Let's say you could have a person here.
There's a picture of
somebody. A picture of someone, and they're talking.
Yeah.
And you put the words with them, and maybe you want to have a portion that talks about your history, like you have maybe started out in a little log cabin.
Yeah.
And
I like it.
And so you have some copy here.
Okay.
And things like that. So,
excellent.
So that gives you a pretty good overview.
Kind of an idea of what we're going for.
Exactly.
So that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video. Really what we wanted to get across is the kind of elements we're going to be putting onto our page, sort of a way of kind of tell you why they're there. It should give you a general idea of how they're going to be placed onto the page. And in the next video, we're going to actually explore drafting out the layout, what our page is actually going to look like. Now that we know the elements that are at hand, we know generally how we're going to end up arranging them, or like the manner in which we would arrange them. We're going to talk about the actual arrangement here in the next video.
Right. It's going to be an experimental phase.
That's right. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. Thanks a lot.